I'm Pierre-Luc Dion, working as a senior cloud architect.
Sébastien Milot, as solutions architect. So I joined Hypertech mainly for what they were doing. So immersion cooling was the fun stuff, and we were mainly with M&E, so on the movie business. And I had a hype with the virtual post-production.
Started with Cloud.ca, and we were working on trying to deliver cloud services. And I always enjoyed this kind of challenge of how do we deliver cloud services, because there's a lot of challenge from a technical aspect, and I've always been super fan of that. And it turns out that in the recent year, we've been starting to work with AI cluster, and suddenly it's even more complicated and very challenging.
The biggest hurdle is time. The clients wants the system like now, and we need to be very flexible and agile in the way we think of the infrastructure and how we're going to move it. The problem is there's no cluster that is the same. We're doing H100, H200, B200, we're going to jump, and GB200, and then nothing is the same. We need to redo. We cannot have templates to do nothing. It's brand new all the time.
Everything evolves super fast. On the other hand, we have not been able to come up with let's say a solution template that we just rinse and repeat, because GPU of a year ago may not exist in 6 months. The network switches or equipment that we've been using, there's going to be a new generation coming in. We cannot come up with like a kind of standard deployment model and go from it. So it's challenging, but on the other hand, it's quite exciting. So. Excel has been one of the best tools for us so far, which we've been tremendously used to create, let's say, a data center plan, to calculating cable length, to create some kind of inventory.
We have some deployment tools like Mass or maybe Ansible to automate the deployments, And yes, for sure, we don't have any design tool yet, but I think in the future we want to try maybe Omniverse and try to design data centers and try to maybe use the NVIDIA tools right now that we're not using. Not being vendor locked helped us again with flexibility, innovation. Oh, I think we already see it on the storage side. So we got KV cache now for reasoning inference. We got object storage that is ramping up very fast. We got vector database for RAGs.
The non-planning of what's coming next, it's almost impossible to predict what are going to be the requirement for the next generation of GPU or AI hardware. From a network perspective, it has to be flexible enough to accommodate what's coming next. The electrical side and cooling side to be most likely be able to support dense workload. So a lot of energy in a small factor.
The data center that already exists that are air cooled are not following the technology faster enough. So direct to chip, it's like right now and soonish, I think we'll see immersion cooling. Since the AI world is moving so fast, it would be great to read papers on the hardware advances and maybe stick to the community plans.
You need to definitely work with your partner and vendors. There is so many equipment interconnected to each other. You need to make sure that, mostly for the network, because that's the part I know the most, but that's where you interconnect everything from the GPU to GPU, to the storage, to the rest of the world, and depending on the selection of the network architecture that is selected, you need to make sure that your switch vendor or manufacturer support the feature set that you need. As an example, on the storage side, there is multiple ways to deliver storage to those GPU server. And if you decide to go with, let's say, RDMA, you need to make sure that your network support this type of messaging. You need to make sure that the network card, the switches, the feature set is also enabled.